let's face it, some things might work for others, but some things may also not work for you. So look, you found someone online, you've joined a community or a course, and you found someone that said to you, forecasting is the key to your success. You cannot be successful without it. However, you do some forecasting, you give it a chance, but you find yourself wasting too much time drawing squiggly lines and making everything look pretty and dandy as opposed to actually being a trader, okay? With drawing squiggly lines, you maybe find that you're trying to predict too much as opposed to actually reacting to the markets. Well, maybe forecasting isn't for you. It certainly wasn't for me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I want to talk to you about a very controversial topic, which is why I think forecasting may be holding you back and why it certainly held me back in the beginning of my trading journey. Like with most things in trading, some things work for others, some things don't work for others. What may work for someone else may not actually work for you. And this video is just to share with you guys my personal experiences and my personal opinions on why I think forecasting just isn't the option for me and why it may not be the option for you, okay? I'm sure you would have seen many videos on what forecasting is, so I'm not gonna dive over exactly into the specifics of what it is because I don't wanna waste your guys' time by boring you by going over the same thing. I just wanna share with you guys my personal experience of forecasting and other things you can do which I personally believe are much better than forecasting. Now guys, in the beginning of my trading career, I did do forecasting. I would forecast all the time, and now looking back on it, for me personally, it was just a complete waste of time. I would spend more time drawing squiggly lines and fancy things and trying to predict too much as opposed to actually trading and reacting to the markets, okay? Some people say with forecasting, it stops them from hesitating, all this sort of thing. Well, I personally believe, and I have found this works for others, a technique that works to eliminate your hesitation through a much better technique that I believe will help you guys that little bit more. So just a little disclaimer, I'm not putting down any other strategies in this industry. I'm just sharing you guys what works for me, what didn't work for me, and what I think will help for you guys. If you guys are wasting way too much time drawing squiggly lines as opposed to actually executing positions, you remember, you want to be a trader, so trade. You don't want to be someone who just draws fancy squiggly lines and wastes way too much time. But don't get me wrong, of course, trading is all about patience. However, there's an extent to that. You need to find a healthy balance between patience and actually being a trader. I'm going to share real examples with you guys and share with you why, if I had forecasted some positions, not only would I have wasted days to weeks of my time, but they don't always play out as you expect. So if you just wait for something to happen and you say, I'm gonna go short when price reaches up here, and price does reach up there, you don't get the short opportunity. Not only have you not taken a trade, let's just say hypothetically, you didn't take a trade, so you didn't take the loss. Well, in my opinion, you have taken a loss because you've wasted days to weeks doing absolutely nothing when you could have been anchoring yourself in the meantime. So like I say, I would waste days to sometimes even weeks forecasting, waiting for things to happen, and like I say, for them to get into an area of interest, for them to not to play out as I expected. Therefore, this would just hold me back and it would completely prolong my journey as a trader. So I want to share with you guys techniques that I believe are much better than forecasting and will really help you out. So let's jump straight onto the charts. The first thing I want to run over, guys, I want to keep this short and sweet because I know you guys live a busy life, so my videos are usually long, but let's keep this one short and sweet with some good tips. The first thing I want to share with you guys is stop trying to predict the markets, okay? And then the second thing I want to run over is what I think is better for you than forecasting. I think it will really help you out. So first things first, as a trader, you want to be reacting to the markets, okay? Now, if I start drawing squiggly lines like this, and we're gonna see something like this, and then we're gonna see like this, and when price gets here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go long, and I'm gonna put my stop, really nice tight stop loss, probably 15 pips, and play this for a big move up, okay? What is wrong with this? Well, this is me trying to put my opinions on the market where I'm trying to predict what price is going to do. I'm going to try and predict that price is going to come down here. We're going to have a little bit of consolidation, and then we're going to have a big breakout, okay? And this is what I did in the beginning. I would draw these squiggly lines, and I would literally wait. And I know other people do this as well. That's the reason I want to make this video, is I would literally wait days and weeks for price to come down into this region. And let's just say, hypothetically, price did come down to this region, but then it's never as clean as you expect. We don't get these little fancy things, and we're going to see a little breakout. We're going to see a really nice breakout here. We're going to break out, retest, and push up. It's never as clean and as easy as that. And what I would do is when I found price would get into these key regions where I'm looking to execute a position, it wouldn't play out as expected. It wouldn't be this clean. It would completely throw me off guard because I'm forecasting, I'm expecting this to happen, and it hasn't happened. So what do I do now? I'm confused. So if I draw this and I think price is going to do this, I'm expecting something to happen in order for me to do something, okay? What also happens is I could waste days to a week for price to get down into this region. I've sat on my hands for a day to a week. What's to say that when we get down here, and this would happen to me all the time, and it'd be even more frustrating, is what happens when price gets down here. We're expecting a nice bounce to the trend line for a push up. But what happens when price break? Of course, people will say, well, you just don't take the trade. Okay, so I'm not going to take a trade. Not only have I now wasted days to weeks of my valuable time waiting for price to get into this level, it also now hasn't played out as I expected. Therefore, I'm completely thrown off guard. I don't know what to do, but I've also wasted time and technically money because I've missed out on an opportunity. I will share at the end of the video how I think you should approach this, but for now you should be reacting to the markets and not trying to predict. Don't waste days, weeks to not take a trade. You want to be a trader, so trade the markets. If you think price is going to come all the way down here, then trade it. Don't get me wrong, patience in trading is very, very important. You have to find a balance between having patience and just sitting in your hands and doing completely absolutely nothing. That to me is just stupid. So the second part and how we can piece everything together, guys, is that for me, drawing squiggly lines and forecasting what I think is going to happen doesn't eliminate hesitation. Why doesn't it eliminate hesitation? Because when price gets down into the regions, like I say, and we don't just play out as I expect, and we do something like this where we just do some crazy moves, I'm not going to know how to react to that, because I've forecasted for price to get down into here, to have a nice little consolidation, and then we find a really nice little breakout. I'm going to go long here, stops just below, and I'm going to catch this next huge big move, okay? Remove the expectations, and that will help you eliminate the hesitation a lot more. But what will help you, and what is the number one key tip to take away from this video that will help you eliminate that hesitation, is if I think price is going to have the potential to push down here before going long, am I going to sit on my hands and wait days to potentially weeks for this to play out? In the beginning of my forecasting and trading journey, that's exactly what I would have done, and this is what I think a lot of people do. But now what I would say to you guys is, if you think price has a lot of movement to do something before doing something else, so trade it, okay? Not only is trading it a good option because one, you're not going to waste time, but let's just say prices, look, breaking a level of support, you come back up for the retest, you then look to go short, you catch a really nice short entry, and you play the short back down to here, okay? So now when price gets into this region where I want to look to go long, if I go long, it doesn't play out as I expected, or let's just say I take a loss, I'm going to kick myself because I waited days to weeks to execute a position that hasn't played out. So I wasted, again, time and money when I could be hedging myself and exposing myself to the fact that anything in the markets can happen. Nothing is certain, okay? And the quicker you accept that anything can happen, the more you'll start to learn to anchor yourself and expose yourself to both sides of the markets. Lots of retail traders, they'll get involved with the markets, they'll catch their 1 to 3 risk rewards and then just completely leave and not take anything. For me, that's just stupid. You should be anchoring yourself and exposing yourself to the reality, to the fact that anything can happen. So when price gets down into these regions, if I want to look to go long and the long doesn't work out and I get stopped out, guess what? I have shorts. So my shorts run more into profit. My losses are covered, so I didn't take a loss. And not only are my losses covered, is I've made another 5% plus trading the move on the way down. So if you think price has room to do something before potentially doing something else, trade it. I want to show you guys real examples, and here on the screen you guys can see US oil. So US oil, I was looking to go long on US oil down in this region, okay? This is the hourly time frame. So to get down into this region, it would have taken a day or two, which isn't as long as I used to wait in the beginning of my trading journey, but it's time wasted where I could be anchoring myself and positioning myself. If I think oil is going to push down here before then going long, guess what I'm doing? I'm taking the short. And this is a trade that I did share within the community. I shared both of these trades and we didn't end up executing this position. So we didn't take the loss because when price got down into this region, it didn't give me any entry requirement. I didn't predict that when price is going to come down here, we're going to do something and then I'm going to go long. Price didn't do what I would have expected. So therefore, did I not only take a loss, but this trade here, I didn't have a take profit. So this ran into about a 15% trade. I'll pop it up on the screen. And now look, guys, let's just play it and see what happens. There we go. Okay, played out to absolute perfection. And exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys is, if I had waited for price to get down into this region, not taking the short, if I just waited for price to get down into this region before then looking to go long, let's just say, be conservative here again, let's just say I didn't take the trade, okay? So I didn't take the 1% loss. I also, because I'm smart and I know how to trade better now, better than forecasting, is I took the position on the way down to anchor myself in case what I thought was going to happen didn't happen, and that's exactly the case. When we were trading around these regions, I thought price is going to come down here, we're going to bounce, and then we're going to have a push back up. But guess what? Price did whatever it wants to do. The markets don't care about what I think, and price just had a huge sell-off, and this trade ran into 15% profit. So if I didn't take this short, and I was just looking to take this long, but I didn't take this long, some people will say to themselves, well, no trade, no loss. Actually, you did take a loss. You took a loss of over 15% because you didn't anchor yourself on the way down. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's very easy if people say, well, when price gets down into my forecasted region and it doesn't play as I expected, then I just don't take anything. Okay, well, you're wasting time and money. And I went round and round in circles doing for this in the start of my journey, whereas I now learn about hedging and anchoring yourselves in the markets to be able to take both sides of the markets. Even if I had taken the loss here, guess what? That loss is completely irrelevant because this trade ran into over 15%. If I hadn't taken the short, I would be down 1% and I would have wasted around a week doing absolutely nothing. Like I say, you want to be a trader, so trade. Of course, like I said, patience is the key in trading, but you don't just want to be sitting in your hands doing nothing, waiting for something to happen, okay? Trying to keep this short and sweet, but key takeaways from this video, guys, is stop trying to predict the markets, okay? The markets are going to do whatever they want, regardless of what you think or what squiggly lines you may draw, okay? For me, forecasting is a waste of time, and as you guys have seen, clearly money as well. Less predicting, more reacting. Build hedges in the markets, build anchors, so when price gets into the region where you think it's going to do something and it doesn't play out as you expected, you are covered for that. You don't just sit on your hands wasting time. You take the entry and you take the position, you trade it on the way down or up. So when you then look to go long or short in your high key value area, you have no hesitation because you know if you take a loss there, your other hedge trade just runs more into profit, okay? For me, forecasting, drawing squiggly lines really doesn't eliminate hesitation. Anchoring yourself and taking hedges on the opposing side of the markets literally does. Why would you hesitate when price gets into a key value area when you know your losses are more than covered because you have another big trade that if it gets stopped out, you just run more into profit? So I hope this video has helped you guys. Remember, of course, patience is key. Learn to build hedges in the markets, expose yourself to the fact that anything can happen and the market doesn't give up. What do you think? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and a comment and let me know, has this video helped you? Were you forecasting, wasting time? And I hope you can now implement this sort of strategy, which will massively change your game. So guys, see you in the next video. Thank you.